we go ahead and start, thanks everyone for coming to Taebyn's Bedtime Stories, as read by Taebyn.
And please ignore the background noise.
Who are you?
Oh, right, yeah. So yes,
Oh no!
oh no,
Oh no!
Not the pupper?
no, no. So yes, thank you for joining us for Taebyn Bedtime Story. I'm Taebyn. I'm a pup. That's Andy. Yay, Andy!
Andy!
And I have 3 little stories I'd like to read to you tonight. So hopefully make your night nice and sleepy and fun. And they have good stories and morals and messages in them too. So I hope you like it very well. So let's start, shall we?
We shall.
We shall.
Okay.
Let's start with The Wee Little Woman. Can everyone hear? Yeah. Okay.
Everyone can hear. Everyone perfect.
I don't have a mic.
I don't have a mic. The Wee Little Woman. Once upon a time, there was a wee little woman who lived in a wee little house in a wee little village. Now one day, the wee little woman put on her wee little bonnet and went on to take a wee little walk. When she had gone a wee little way, she came across a wee little market.
Folks, I don't want to break up story time, but we do have to have a path through here to that door because it is a fire exit. So you guys can keep on reading right here. It's perfectly fine as long as there's a walkway to that door. Just a little bit further in.
Yeah.
Just a little bit further. There you go. Keep about 3 feet right here. We're good to go. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Blair.
So to recap where we are, there's this wee little woman, and she's gone to the village and gone to the store. And in that store, she found a wee little bone. This wee little bone will make a wee little soup for my wee little supper, said the wee little woman. So the wee little woman bought the wee little bone and took it home to her wee little house. Now, when the wee little woman got home to her wee little house, she was a wee little tired from all her travels. So she put the wee little bone in the wee little cupboard, and then she walked up her wee little steps to her wee little bed. When this wee little woman had been asleep a wee little time, she was awakened by a wee little voice from a wee little cupboard, which said, "Give me the bone." The wee little woman was a wee little frightened, so she hid her wee little head in her wee little bed under her wee little covers. And when she had been asleep again a wee little bit of time, the wee little woman cried out from the wee little a wee little voice cried out from the wee little cupboard and said in a wee little stronger voice, "Give me my bone." This made the wee little woman a wee little bit more frightened. So she hid her wee little head under her wee little cupboard and fell asleep again. And when the wee little woman had been asleep again a wee little time, the wee little voice from the wee little cupboard said in a wee little voice, a bit louder, "Give me my bone." That wasn't a wee little voice. The wee little woman was a little bit more frightened, but she put her wee little head out from her wee little cupboard and said in her wee little voice, "Take it!" The end. Any ideas what the moral to that story might be?
Yes. Say again?
Can I tell a really quick story to you guys?
A wee
story to you guys?
A wee story?
Yeah.
It's a wee story.
She wants to tell us a story? Is
But
that
it's my turn.
maybe at the end?
Maybe at the end. Well, let's move on.
Just a wee bit.
called The City Mouse and the Country Mouse. It's a nice little story. There was once a happy little country mouse who lived in a big wheat field. In the summertime, she feasted on grains of wheat and on bits of bread from the farmer's lunchboxes. When the weather grew cold, she moved into the farmhouse and picked up bits of cake and bread and cheese, which was dropped on the kitchen floor by the cook. These she stored away in her little mouse hole in the attic until she had a good supply laid out for the winter. Oh, okay. Now one day, during the winter, the little country mouse's cousin, the city mouse, came to visit her. When they had chatted for a while, the little country mouse took her visitor to see her entire pantry that she had collected for the winter. Proudly, she showed the amount of cheese bits and heaps of bread and cake crumbles and the neat piles of nuts and berries that she had collected. But when the city mouse had eaten a hearty dinner, she wiped her whiskers daintily and said, "You poor thing. So this is the way you live on leftovers dried up in your attic? Come with me to the city and I will show you a real feast." The country mouse immediately felt rather ashamed of her simple little home, so she quietly went with the city mouse to the city. The city mouse led the way into a huge brick home, went up a great staircase and into a dining room. Great dining room. The rich people who lived in the big house with the city mouse were just having dinner, so the two little mice hid behind the door. "Keep very still," said the city mouse. "When they leave the table, we can have all the food that is left." The eyes of the little country mouse grew big and round at that, for she had never seen so much food in all of her life. So she sat very still, and then when this dinner was over, with a scuffling of feet and scraping of chairs, the big people left the table. "Come on," squeaked the city mouse, peeking cautiously to the right and to the left. She led the way across the room and up the chair and onto the table. The country mouse took a long look around her at the table still crowded high with good things, and she sighed a deep, happy sigh. "This is wonderful," she said, taking a big bite of the beautiful cheese. "Beautiful cheese. You just live like a prince." She had scarcely finished squeaking when, with a snarl, a cat pounced upon the table. After her came the cook, waving a big spoon. "Oh no!" And then into the room bounded two big dogs, barking ferociously.
You're a pup.
I'm a pup, though. It wasn't me. I wouldn't do this. No. Then there was a terrible row. In the midst of the row, the two mice skittered down on the floor and dodged into a humble hole. "We'll wait until all is quiet and go back for some more," said the city mouse. But her country cousin shook her head and said, "We'll wait until it's quiet again, and then I'll go home as fast as I can. You're welcome to all this fine food that you can get, my friend. As for me, I prefer my dry nuts and bread in the peaceful country." And the end. Are we having a good time?
Yes!
Yeah.
But don't get too excited because it's supposed to be bedtime. So yay.
Yay.
Yay. But yeah. Well, I have one more story for you. It's a short one, but it's a good one. Probably y'all heard it. And it has a really good moral and story to it. It's called The Lion and the Mouse. One day, as the lion lay sleeping in his lair, a little mouse, not knowing where he was going, tripped and ran over the lion's muzzle. Well, nose, but okay. With a roar, the lion awoke and clapped his paw down on the tiny creature. "Now I shall kill you, worthless little mouse," thundered the lion. Now that's great for bedtime, right? "Oh, good sir," squeaked the frightened little mouse, "I meant you no harm. I assure you, nothing was further from my thoughts than to disturb your majesty. Please spare my life, for I am not even worthy of your attention." The lion, smiling at his prisoner's fright, lifted his paw and watched the mouse scurry away.
That's nice. That was nice.
Months later, the lion was ranging the woods, stalking his prey, when he fell into a cunning trap made of ropes, placed there by hunters. "I can never escape," thought the unhappy lion, threshing about hopelessly. "Oh, woe is me," says the lion. And he let out a huge roar that filled the jungle with its echo. The little mouse, scampering about his own little business, recognized the voice of the lion who had spared his life and ran to the spot. Without wasting a moment, the mouse was set to work nibbling at the ropes and set the lion free. And before the hunters came to inspect the trap, the lion was gone. "I thank you, good mouse," said the lion. "I see now that the kindness we do is always worthwhile. I shall remember this lesson that you have taught me." And I think that last one really captures the whole idea of what we're here to do in this great, great community of ours. So thank you so much for attending our little time together. I'll be here tomorrow if you would like to hear some more. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your night, and I hope you have a great, sleepy, good time.
Good night, Taebyn.
Good night.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bark, bark.
Coming.
Thanks for coming.